Leading up to the races, you know, I was named on a lot of horses. Looked like they were all alive. Looked like, you know, that I probably could, you know, win a few. It was one of those days. You know, I looked at the program. Every single horse that I rode could have won. First race of the day, I was on a colt for Mike Rivas, Too Much Talk. You know, he had ran second start before. I was expecting him to run good again. I thought I was going to be on the lead the whole way. Turns out, little unexpected things happened in the race and worked out in my favor. You always want to watch your other horses in the race, watch other riders, because you never want to get carried out. But as soon as we left there, I looked over and I seen Brandon. I seen his horse was getting out right away. So I just stayed where I was at. In any instant, when the horse is on the lead is getting out, you know, you pretty much, you want to just stay there, just stay where you're at. Horses tend to drift out a lot, and I could tell that horse kept getting out, and it seemed like the farther we went, the worse that horse was getting out. So, you know, that's why I decided to sit where I was at. And, you know, sometimes that definitely can play into your advantage, you know. There was another horse that ended up running third, was stuck on the outside of the horse. He carried that horse all the way out to the middle of the track. Now, they both came running at me, but it was too late. You know, my horse was running a straight course. You know, they were headed to get a hot dog. Going into the second race, I was on luck with a Kiss. Horse that I've ridden, you know, forever. I rode him his first start. You know, I won stakes on him as a 2-year-old. You know, lately he's kind of tailed off a little bit. Today, you know, we were dropping down. We were running for a tag. So, you know, at the second race, I seen the same thing. So I'm thinking, the race before, the first, I got lucky. Horses bolted, made me a winner. So I seen this exact same thing happen, and it looks like I'm gonna have the same trip. Seeing the same thing happen, and again, I'm thinking, huh, works out perfect. This horse is gonna bolt. I'm gonna end up winning. Actually, I was kind of laughing to myself a little bit when I seen the exact same thing start happening in the very next race. So, you know, I was thinking, oh, this is perfect. What a coincidence. You know, I thought maybe it'd get me home again, but it didn't. Lots of different things can factor into why a horse might, you know, get out or get in. You know, they can be shying. Sometimes it's just the middle problem. They might be seeing shadows and stuff, you know. You have lots of horses that might duck or get out because of shadows. I worked a horse 2 mornings ago. The sun was coming right at the right angle, and his shadow was like right in front of him, almost a little bit to the side. You know, and he had his ears pricked, and I could tell he was watching the shadow and he was getting out. You never know what those horses are seeing. You don't know what's going on. You know, they make lots of equipment. They got the shadow rolls and the blinkers, and they've got different bits to try to help that horse run as straight as possible. I used to ride a horse named Wyoming Frank for Mike Rivas a long time ago, and he bolted multiple times. Bolted so bad that he was pulled up and didn't finish the race. And the way you got to get him to go around the turn, you pulled a little bit on the right rein, which might sound crazy because that's the way he's headed. He's supposed to be going left around the turn. Well, if you grabbed, the minute that you grabbed the left rein and tried to pull him in, that's the minute he's gonna fight you and you're gonna end up on the outside fence. You know, not a lot of guys could get him around there. He bolted with multiple jocks, you know, but I ended up winning, I think, about maybe 3 or 4 races on the horse. So the next race, the third, I was on Rock on Richie, a horse that I've ridden lots of times. You know, it seems like he always runs second. He's a grinder. You know, he just keeps running, keeps going, and he makes up a lot of ground the last 18 mile. When Rock on Richie left the gate, I took a hold of him right away. You know, you can't let him run too early because he won't finish. So, you know, I grabbed a hold of him. I didn't want to, you know, drop completely down on the fence. You know, I wanted to try to save ground, but not get buried down on the rail, you know, behind other horses. He's a free-running horse, and, you know, you just kind of gotta let him run his own race and try not to get in too much trouble with him. So, you know, I just sat on him, and he was tugging me along pretty good, you know, but you know, you can't let him out. You can't let him run too much early because, you know, he won't finish at the end. So when we headed around the turn, I hit the 3/8 pole, and I started picking it up a little bit as we went. Started going on. I looked like those horses on the lead, might be getting away. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to stay with the distance so I could run him down late. He always closes a lot of ground late, so I knew that maybe I could catch him at the wire. Right here, I was feeling pretty comfortable. I knew the horse on the inside of me, he still had lots of horse. He was the horse that I had to beat. So he kept on, for a second, the horse on the inside of me too came running. Actually, I thought I got beat for a second, looked like that he might have got up in the last jump. But I was, photo turned out in my favor, and I hung on. I ride the first 2 races, horses both in each one of them. Win one, run third in the other one. So coming on, in the third race, I end up winning. I end up hanging on, win by a nose, but there's an inquiry. So I'm like, like I'm coming back, I'm like, something else is happening, so. I had to talk to the stewards, and I told them that I felt like that I kept a straight course, and I didn't feel that I had bothered anybody and it had interfered with the outcome in the race at all. They ended up leaving the order of finish the way it was. Next race I rode was the 7th. I rode Little Miss Richie for Larry. Today was like Revis Ravelli Day. I had been working this filly for a while. I had expected her to break sharp and lay close. We were running for 25,000. She ran a good race, she tried, and we ended up third. Going into the last race of the day, the 9th, I was on another filly for Larry again, Misty Royale. So, it didn't stop there. Back in the last, something else happens again. There's another inquiry. I looked to my inside. Robbie was coming up on the inside, so I kind of wanted, I wanted to hold my ground, and I could see that he really didn't have anywhere to go. So when I asked my horse to run, she went on, and I was able to get by the horses on the lead. I could hear the trouble that had happened at the quarter pole, and I knew that if he got through, he was going to end up running by me. So I tried to hang on for a second, but I didn't. Horse ended up nipping me at the wire, ended up third, but she ran a good race. The day ended up turning out great. All my horses ran good, looked like they were live going in, turns out they were. A couple inquiries, a couple horses bolted, turned out in my favor, ended up winning 2 for the day.